Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question of the night: is Drew Cain needed on General Hospital? There's been a lot of pushback with his character since he started, maybe a little bit after he started. Somewhere along the line, there was a large consensus that they pretty much just wasted Drew. What was the whole point of him coming back? He wanted to be with his family and stuff like that, and everything at that point just kind of just went downhill. I thought they were going to put him with Sam and just all that stuff. But let me know, do you think that Drew Cain is needed on General Hospital? What's good, Kyrie? Thank you for joining. Hope you had a great day. Hope you had a great day, my friend. Still feel like I'm discombobulated. Kyrie is in the chat. Jakaris is in the chat tonight. How you doing, my friend? How have you been? Actually kind of depressed right now. Cheyenne, what's good? Eagle Fang. Eagle Fang says, with Victor leaving the show, I think this show is headed for more cuts and let's go pretty soon. Drew Cain has no purpose on the show. I'm glad to hear that, Jakaris. When I sit there and say I'm depressed, I don't mean like I'm actually depressed. I mean like the alcohol is getting kind of low. And I hate that. Kyrie says Tucker was whining like a little itch today. That's a real turn off. The world doesn't revolve around him, so he wants to cry around about it. I'm like, get over it. I have no more use for Tucker. Tucker says trying to balance on focusing on school and recording reviews. It's hard. And I have to touch you, but at the end of the day, Jakaris, your education obviously comes first. So, that's just point blank. Eagle Fang says when Valentine finds out what Ned is doing, he's only going to cost him in the end. You mean it's only going to cost him in the end? Is that? Mm-hmm. One says Drew doesn't take initiative at all. He just waits for people to tell him things. What? What else? Okay, maybe I need to slow down a little bit. Harry says, same. I'm going to start focusing on my schoolwork too. Okay, that's good. Eagle Fan says Ned needs to replace Valentine already. Queen of the South is in the chat. What's good? What is good, Queen of the South? Is always a blessing to see you in the chat. Laura B is in the chat. J Blue says if Drew isn't on the show, who will Carly pair up with? Dante? Queen Nikisha is in the chat tonight. Nikisha said, nope, this version of Drew can die. I like the original Drew though. Kind of seems the same to me, but yeah, that's yeah. Definitely comes first, Jakaris, without hesitation. Last day is in the chat. How's it going, last day? How's the channel going? How's the channel going? Queen of the South said Drew isn't even on GH, he is just useless. Jakaris says Albert uploaded 2 reviews. I'm gonna check them out. Jay Blue says it grows Dante. Well, I mean, just saying. They're not related. Monique says when Billy Miller was Drew, Jason was doing all the work to find out what happened to them at the clinic. Cherie's in the chat. Was good, Cherie? Of course, Queen of South. Of course. You know, I sit there and ask how you doing. Always love. Here's the thing, Queen stuff. Always love seeing you in the chat. I do. I really always love seeing you in the chat. So I'm waiting till a couple more people join tonight. Um, so I can give some sort of an announcement. Not a huge announcement, but you know, just to kind of keep people up to date, updated on everything. J Blue says Carly is way older. I can only imagine Olivia's reaction. The hell would Olivia reaction? Seriously, the hell would Olivia reaction? Um, I'm just saying, you know. Carrie says I'm trying hard to work on it, but I'm the type of guy that once I focus on something, I go all in and barely pay attention to anything else. For example, like the gym, videos, my book, my school, gonna change. Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, education always definitely comes first. I like that though. I like that, Kyrie. You know, just go full all in on what you're doing. You know, give it 100%, as they say. So that's cool. Again, thank you for joining tonight in this live stream. Hell, you know, I'll probably give it like maybe five. Well, okay, maybe 2 more minutes, and then I'll sit there and just say the announcement again. You know, because why not? Um, 3R says face blue. Oh, emojis. Okay, it's kind of weird. Droopy eye. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Reading emojis. That's new. Last day says I'm doing good, Albert. My 4BNB video has wow. The fourth bride episode exploded in popularity on Saturday. I got over 500. That's what's up. That is what's up. I could not be happier for you. Last day, you're killing it right off the bat. Big Samuel's in the chat. Let's say what's up to Samuel. How you doing tonight? Monique said you, who is ex Navy SEAL, should have no problem getting on that boat without being seen. Is what they are trained for. Drew should use his skills. Yeah, I mean, finally, we actually got a point where it's like, um, you know, they're actually making Drew useful. So, Cherie says, "Oh, sorry, you can't see those emojis. They are, they are YouTube ones actually. Really? That's so weird. YouTube emojis." RB says, "I agree that he is not utilizing his skills, though. I don't hate him. Yeah, I don't hate him either. I've never hated Drew. I know there's some people like, I can't stand Drew. He's terrible." I'm like, okay. But then again, those are the same people that's like, I can't stand. Oh, what else they can't stand? Well, there's a lot of people. I can't stand Willow. She's so terrible. Shauna's in the chat. What's good, Shauna? But yeah. So this weekend, we're gonna have some fun things going on, some surprises. Maybe if everything pans out this week, we're gonna be doing some collabs. Not gonna sit there and say any names, but gonna be doing some collabs this weekend if everything pans out. So as my friend James always says, stay tuned. Shauna says, I told you Drew was going to be useful. Yeah. Gary says, GC episode, setting everything up perfectly, but was still kind of lackluster. That's why I'm not reviewing it today. No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Tyrese. I trust me. I had to dig deep in the well to sit there and try to find something to talk about positive. Dolly's in the chat. Was good, Dolly? One says even Jason, who is not military trained, had better results. Yeah, and that's the thing, Kyrie, is that's the one thing I did sit there and say about this episode is that they're setting up some good stuff. Today's episode was not good, but and see that's the weird thing. It's like today, The Young and the Rest was actually better. Of course, Days of Our Lives actually killed all of them. Days of Our Lives killed all of them. Shauna says Sean shot Bo. Yeah, here's the thing. It'd be weird. I don't think. Here's the thing. I don't think that he killed Bo. I don't think that he killed Bo. I'm not gonna lie. That scene with Hope and Bo was so bad. It was so bad. I know it's a soap opera and they gotta go for the cheese factor, but having Bo looking like he's about to, I don't know, go into some sort of psychiatric episode. It was so bad. It was so bad. She says, I want to be the special guest one weekend. Oh, you will. You will, Sheree. That's for damn sure. Uh, what the hell? Jay Blue says, over the weekend I was wondering how I haven't seen Martin since Lucy made her nurse school entrance. Maybe ain't too busy knocking boots. Sheree says, do you have two chairs just playing? Nah, we just need one chair. Um, we just need one chair. Samuel says it's a Monday. Soaps are never that great on Monday unless it's picking up for a big reveal on Friday. No. Here's the thing, Samuel. I get that, but I still find that to be kind of intolerable, to be honest. I always feel like you should put your best foot forward, not just, it's Monday, so. Also, I don't want to subscribe to the attitude of average just became the new normal and that's just okay now. What's good, CW? Curry says, yeah, I did my wine review. Only turn off a wine now for me today was Tucker. He was very whiny. That was such a turn. He was supposed to be another powerhouse. He's such a disappointment. Yeah, Sheree. I'm glad you got that one. Um, yeah, I mean that's the thing. When I was watching it, I knew some people were gonna sit there and say, "Well, some of these episodes." So it's like I get that, but like we got 4 soap operas and only 3 of them on the air. You know, average should just not be the new normal. And in all reality, even here's the thing. I'm not saying it has to be action packed. I just felt like it wasn't good. Like it was somewhat boring. To be honest, like here's the thing: when Y&R is actually grabbing my attention, when Y&R is actually grabbing my attention more than GH, that's a problem right there. And what's good, CW? Thank you for joining us. Shauna says, "Why didn't Harrison send Hope by herself?" No, yeah, exactly. Sean, I'm not. Sean, I'm not gonna lie. Um, Sean was right. Sean was right. That literally made no sense. Sheree says Tucker seemed very defeated, and Ashley is getting sucked in by it. I think. Yeah, Ashley's getting on my damn nerves, to be honest. Nikisha, I was bored with GHA after I rewatched Carly, Ava, and Carly and Nina scenes. Yeah, it was. Simon says, well, I'm not saying that the show isn't good, but GH has a lot going on. They have to build up storyline. I trust me, Samuel, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, but again, when YNR is grabbing more of my attention than GH, They're not doing something right. I get a build up, I do, but it shouldn't damn near bore me to tears. Again, four soap operas, they need to kind of start stepping things up. I'm not saying everything got to be hit out of the park. This just seemed lazy. I mean, come on, Days is doing it. Curry says his arrival was supposed to bring trouble for Victor and Victoria. He's no match for them at all. Sad. And CW says, I know it was a Monday, but I think all the soaps kind of fell flat today. Yeah. Well, mine was actually somewhat more interesting. Um, Ace was good. Suri says if G started producing some big episodes to wrap up a few of these storylines, that would be nice. Definitely would be. Ariana says, hello. Oh, hey, Albert. I just listened to GH Review. ROD came out today. Rod? People said you'd hear about the actor. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we. Monique says, my issue with soaps now is how many times can you tell the same story over and over again? Denise is in the chat. What's good, Denise? Thank you for joining us. I just, I don't have patience, to some extent. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time. It's just one of those things where it's like, I gotta kind of step things up. And granted, B&B wasn't really that much better anyway. What's good, Double C? Thank you for joining us. Eddie said, ride, the ride. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yes. The ride. You let them have, yes. You know how I do. You know how I do, Ariana. No one is spared the ride. No one. Harry says, as much as I don't like how I think his approach is right, I just give Summer her space. She's in insufferable pain in the ass right now. I just leave her alone. Don't listen to Bill. Yeah. Yeah, I said the same thing. Uh, I'm right there with you. Sheree said you're talking about Bo for sure. Yeah, it was Darby's in the chat. Was good, Darby. The amazing Janet is in the chat. Was good, Janet. And yeah, Ron, yeah, at this point, Ron, everyone in the chat knows about that. Everybody in the chat knows about that. Mr. Bear says I felt like a lot of writing sucks because there are not a lot of daytime shows to provide competition. Mm, I don't know about that. Because in all reality, Mr. Bear, I feel like because there's not that many of them there, that's definitely the time to actually step up. Ariana says, I do. Are they going to give Drew something more than following Carly? I mean, right now, he's going on that mission or whatever because apparently that the WSB can't go for some odd reason that literally makes no sense. Right now, they're actually using him pretty well. They're going to use him pretty well. At least he's going to be a use. WC's I heard RJ could be worse than Thomas, but how really? Thank you, Queen yourself. Yes, hit the like button. It actually really does help. I have no idea where we are on the dislike. Well, hopefully like. Let's see. The one and only Jess is in the chat. What's good, Jess? Now Jess says, yeah, I don't get why Laura needs to go. Maybe because she knows the compound, you know? Maybe. I'm assuming. She knows the place where they're going. Ron says Phoenix said what everyone's celebrating Sheila being jail. Because she's gonna get out of jail. When? I don't know why I don't know why he would say that for. Double C said Drew just as useless just as useless in the WSB. That's kind of weird. Okay, so yeah, we got 12 likes, we got 27 people in the chat. So if you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. It really does help. It really does help. It gives me up higher on the algorithm. It recommends people that do watch my reviews that maybe they may not know that I'm doing a live stream. We're always getting new people in every week. So Ron says May sweep Sheila will be out. That'd be kind of dumb. I mean, one, not just be kind of dumb too. I mean, is sweep supposed to be a thing? Like, I feel like sweeps is not even a thing anymore. Like, seriously. Ariana says Karen knows both the ship and the island. You mean Laura knows both the ship and the island? Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I say. It would make sense why. Monique said, "Did y'all feel when they show up for next week?" Yes, Monique. Yes. Yeah, I said the same thing. I was like, why would they do that for? I felt like somebody was actually drunk. Because that's I'm so glad you said that, Monique, because when I saw that on Saturday, I was like, wait. I knew exactly what you meant, Ariana. But I was like, why would they do that for? Why would they literally spoil something that major? That major. We didn't know if it was a boy or a girl, but they was like, oh, screw that. So Cherie said, let brainstorm how Sheila gets out. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would really make a lot of sense. You did all that to put her in jail just to bring her back out? Like, what are y'all? Chelsea Brown is in the chat. What's good, Chelsea? Thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you had a great day. Kerry says, what if RJ starts sleeping with Sheila? I wouldn't put it past this show gross. Shonda says Diane pissed at Robert. He's been lying to her, but downing her work for Sonny. Gave that man a dry cleaning bill. Like, who does that? Like, I felt like there was more than I had to say. Okay, now. Denise said, I did enjoy the end scene with Drew, Curtis, and Laura heading out, and then Valentine joining. I was like, sucks, yeah. Um, yeah, Denise, I am glad that Valentine did go. I am. Yeah, and this episode was just like, okay, so you have Michael and you have Drew and you have Michael and Olivia and they're talking about the wedding. And I'm just like, does anyone even care? Like at this point, like even that scene you had Olivia there was like, I didn't care. I didn't care at all. All I saw was a bunch of people getting paid to just show up to work and do a very pointless scene that no one really cared about. Mr. Bear says, Ron says, so you're going to trust these writers really? We and the audience know that she will be out eventually. I should probably say I have to say now before I do get too drunk to actually say later on. After this comment, Monique says they do the promo for the week like this week on Days, Bo, and Hope Night, but will their love pair. Then they show flashbacks for the first time they met. Oh, Monet. Well, if you're talking about that scene was bad. That scene was terrible to watch. And you say, yeah, Albert, I think Anna pushed Valentina go good. I didn't need him to just sit there, be by Anna's side, the whole damn thing. This seemed kind of like, now Jess says, I'm mad they recast Ethan and not even keeping him around. Maybe that's why. Well, here's the thing, Jess. The dude turned it down, so you can't exactly be mad at the recasting because, to be honest, he didn't want to do it. So, and yeah, I mean, granted, even if we did get the other Ethan, he's still just not going to be around for that long. So Denise says, no one cares about the wedding. I'm not excited about it at all. And same thing with Ariana. Um, no, though, I care about the wedding. No thoughts or care about the wedding or the couple. Shauna said, yeah, Ethan was a waste of time. Um, but that's the thing, Ron, and this is for anyone that watches B&B. If Sheila just comes back out of jail, right? They did all that work to put her in jail, and she just comes back out in like May or Sweeps Week. That would just be. I'm gonna be honest. That would be such a middle finger to everyone that's watching the show. You got you got Ridge and Bill working together to take her down for murder one. You're just gonna let her out of jail. You're just gonna just bring her back out again. That's just gonna make sense. Like, so yeah, Ron and anyone else, just watching Baby, like they take out of jail. Like, what the hell is the point of them doing that? The sad thing is though, I can see Shoddy writing like that. I can see them doing that. Shonda says now Ned whining, he traded on his family. Monique says Ethan is like Luke, he can't stay in one place too long. They have to go on to the next adventure. Yeah, but you know what? And that's the thing though. That's right. That's right, Sheree. Cheers. I should probably get whatever coherent thought out of myself before I start to get drunk. Um, okay, well, not drunk, but tipsy. And you said B&B have jumped the shark for me. I'm taking a break. Well, Denise, what time did they? I mean, at what point did they jump the shark? Because they seem like that's the type of show that they tend to do it a lot. Ron says, I'm kidding. I hope others don't take this Sheila thing serious because I wanted her to have a baby. I seriously can't even read the rest of that. I feel like I'm gonna need 2 cups to actually, read that. Just said then they could show Holly rescuing him off screen. I just thought the recast was pointless. Yeah, but I see that just maybe that could have worked. I don't know. I don't. I mean, yeah, to each his own. I guess with Ethan, I just feel like I don't think the other guy's doing that bad, and it's one of those things where it's like they had to do what they had to do as far as like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I see your point, but Mr. Bear says they need to show her fighting other prisoners. I'll be down for that. Sherry says I actually have white wine. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, Nikisha, yeah. I'll say it again. So this weekend I'm going to be having this weekend if everything works out, I'm going to be having a bunch of different collabs going on. So I won't sit there and say who these people are because I want to sit there and keep things as a surprise. But if everything goes well, this week is going to be um, some collabs going on. So, yeah, Janet. Tracy Steves is in the chat. What's good, Tracy Steves? Shauna said Katie's going to sleep with Carter. She wants Bill, but she knows Brooke is his first choice, but she's runner up. And somehow she's okay with that. Like, why would you? I don't even understand. Why would you even entertain that idea? Like, that just literally makes no sense. Um, Last Day says Albert in 2019 B&B, the worst program on television. I mean, in all of TV 2019. Yeah, Jess, it's gonna be interesting. You know me, I always gotta sit there and kind of you know keep some keep some surprises up my sleeve. But Monique says Sheila is the female Michael Myers, a normal human would ever never probably survive being thrown over a balcony, but Sheila isn't human. Yeah, exactly, and no no broken bones, no nothing. Like Perry says, because she's like riding that stallion, I guess. Dolly says, "Are you doing anything in honors of the daytime nominees?" No, no. But I don't know. I don't think Dolly. I don't think it's about it. I don't want to. Here's the thing. I don't want to sit there and actually cut it out. So maybe it might be interesting. I normally don't like any sort of award shows, like no matter what they are, because soon as somebody wins that I don't like, I'm not a happy camper. So I don't know. Ron says, yes, I agree with you with Bill and Rich working hard to have her arrested for her crimes, but you can't trust these writers. She will be out soon. Yeah, you're right. And that's the sad part. That's the sad part, Ron. That's not a good thing. I'm gonna tell you right now, that is not a good thing. Mr. Bear says it used to be a woman's prison soap opera called Cell Block 8. Seriously? Mr. Bear, are you effing with me? Or are you serious? Let's see. Okay, well, we got 16 likes in the chat, so that's something. But yeah, if you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. It really does actually help. I want to see what he's talking about, though. Oh my God, you're serious? Yo, what? Let me just screenshot that for me, Mr. Bear. You wasn't joking. Yeah, I just saw it. I just saw it. Ariana says I don't watch any war show either for the same reason. Yeah, because it's just like here's the thing. I stopped watching award shows after high school. Like literally during high school, like towards like 12th grade, I just stopped because I was just like, yeah, I'm good. I was just like, yo, listen, people aren't winning that should win, and like, yeah, I'm not. Mr. Bear says I'm 55. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to take a look at some of that, Mr. Bear. Monique says my other issue with soaps, and I probably said this before in your previous live, is how they rewrite history of the characters we grew up with. These characters we know the history. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I don't know if it's to try to fit a different generation, but yeah, I get that. Dolly says the good thing is you're watch all the soaps, so there are no real daytime Amy loses. No, yeah, exactly. That's very true. That was a very good point, Dolly. Ron says even Phoenix said that Kimberly Brown, who plays Sheila, has 2 more years in the contract. And that's funny, Ron, because I'm pretty sure I said that contracts. Well, it's like saying that they're a legacy character. They don't really mean as much as they used to. You know, contracts can be broken. They can be. They don't hold weight like they used to. But I don't know, Ron. I know Phoenix has been in the game for a while, so I'm not doubting the guy, but just yeah, I don't watch them either. Yeah, I mean, I get what Dolly said, and that's very true. I do watch all of them, so it's not like not gonna be like, oh, well, you should have won or whatever. But I don't know. It's not a bad idea. It's just I don't know. I guess I just have to wait and see how I feel. I don't. It's actually a good. It's actually an interesting idea. So thank you for suggesting that, Dolly. Yeah, I just never really worked for me. At the high school, it's just like WC says there's a thunderstorm in my area, so the power goes. Oh, that. I think that happened a couple of days ago. Like this huge ass thunderstorm, and it was. Yeah. Dave, what's good, Dave? Hey, so go. I'm good. How are you doing tonight, my friend? Thank you for joining. Hope you had a great day. Last says I hate when the soap operas rewrite history. We all know history of all the characters. Why do they do that often? You know, maybe one of my guess. I was gonna sit there and try to use a big fancy word, and then I remembered that I had a couple of drinks, and also even if I was sober, I probably still can't say it right. One of my guesses is that maybe they sit there and try to fit whatever, like they try to change it for like a new set of people, a new generation, or whatever the new current viewers that they think that they're targeting. Thank you for joining us, Dave. Ron says, Ron says, I agree that context means nothing, but Sheila is a legacy character. That's why it won't be broken. Do you remember what I said about legacy characters? Because I'm pretty sure I put them in the same vein as contracts. Um, Trust me, Ron. I'm not being a dick. I actually do like Kimberly Brown. I do like Sheila. Um, but again, legacy characters, contracts, they don't mean what they used to mean. You know, I think what it really comes down to is that if it's are the characters, are the audiences responding to the characters well? You know, I think that's what it really kind of goes by. If a lot of people is loving this character, there's a good chance they're going to stick around more. I mean, you look at the actress that played Liz. I've heard that they stopped and they tried to fire her way back in the day, and then the fans actually got her back. The fans actually got her back. So, and that was a lot on the fans' part. Now I don't know if she was under contract or not or anything like that, but at one point they did try to fire her, and the fans was like, hell to the no. So now Shauna says Luke is a legacy character too. Yeah. Jason, they talking about trying to kill him off screen. Like, I gotta sit there and wonder where were they actually going with that? Where were they actually going with that? Because you can't kill off a character off screen like Luke. You can't. So you're gonna bring him back, but if you don't have the actor to bring him back, what are you gonna do? And Monique says my motto is if it ain't broken, don't fix it. We get the new writers who don't know the history of the characters they are writing for. They just throw stuff on the wall to see if it sticks. Yeah. Kyrie says another idea I thought of if they brought YouTubers to the daytime Emmys, the winners should get to meet with the writer teams to set up the next. We always say fans can write. Yeah, dude's right. Garius is right. Now everyone says I hate when they rewrite history to redeem characters. I mean, like Franco just having a brain tumor. Cherie says, but anyway, let me sushi. I was going. Now I'm back. So what were we talking about? The soaps. Now Denise says, yes, exactly. It's about the audience fans to love the characters. Yeah. Totally says, remember when they had to rehire Liz to GH fans for not having it. Yeah. Yeah. Not Jesse. Yeah, the Franco storyline was pretty good back in the day. So I mean, like I said, again, I wasn't trying to be a dick or anything like that, but you say legacy characters and then you say contract, and I'm like, it's pretty much the same. They don't really mean much of anything like they used to, and it's unfortunate, but that's just where we're at. Um, WC says WC says I wish the writers would rewatch all the stories from the past and have different ideas. I mean, yeah, everyone says pretty much. Now CW says, "Are the Logans automatically being the moral compass of being?" Yeah, that's before my time, but Shauna says nobody missed bold. Nobody missed bold is stay on repeat. And Mr. Bear says Luke Hardy's lore and the storyline. I bet they rewrote that history. No, they you mean they definitely did not. And Dory says Luke and Laura was one of the biggest rewrites in soap history, saying he seduced her. Wait, what? I'm sorry. No, 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 no. Okay, so no, 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 no. They did not. They no, 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 no. Or like a skit on Family Guy, but no. Shit, what? Nah, they didn't revive history. They didn't rewrite history on a Luke and Laura dark part of that story, right? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat because I don't believe him. I have to sit there and go on the internet. And Monique says, "Do you think if Nick proposed to Sally, would she say yes? He hasn't even said I loved her." I don't know. No, she would not say yes. Or not say yes. I don't say it. Nope. I feel like there'd be too much conflict, too much unresolved issues now. Just as back in the day, Luke. Yeah. I am so glad you used the word violated. Though it says up into the 90s, they were calling that mess. Hey, are you serious? Oh, so but now what? XX says they say he seduced her around the time Fluke was. Oh wow, that is a whole level of disrespect. For so many reasons. Ron says and fans were very nasty and rude to the actor Marcus who played Nick. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. We did talk about that. Do you remember that? But it just it's funny too because I took a break during that time, and so I don't even remember the whole Fluke storyline. But the fact that they called it Fluke is just Now, Aaron says, I remember when they began and after they tried to make it was less than it was. Wow. That is, uh, that is so disrespectful. I don't even know where to begin. Kyrie says if they manage to get Tyler to return and it doesn't work out, then they need to kill the character permanently. Tyler is only Nicholas as far as I'm concerned. Hmm. XXX Fluke was weird and one of the first big storylines that happened when I got. And oh, wow. Okay, so that's okay. Interesting. Now, Dolly says they acknowledged it after Liz was assaulted and Loki found out. Gene Francis has spoken about how uncomfortable it was. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Also, for anyone that watches State of Mind, Maurice was um Kristen Alderson, I think that's her name, was on the show. Was on a show. I want to know if anyone watched it and what did they think of it. Because I saw it pop up in my recommended, and I was like, okay, I watched a little bit, but Shauna says, I hope Helena stays dead. Like now, oh, you don't want her coming back? Now, Laura B says, I remember when Jeannie Francis did an interview, they backtrack and says seduce rather than violate. They did come back, addressed it when Liz was. Oh, okay. Um, Laura B said she was uncomfortable with that change, so yeah. Yeah, it's disrespectful to sit there and say the very least. Now Denise says yes, I love State of Mind with Maurice. I didn't catch that episode yet. It's so hard, I'm not gonna lie. It's so hard to sit there and actually watch a full because sometimes it's like 40 minutes, and it's just very hard to sit there and try to put that into my schedule. I still want to watch the one where he did an interview with Chad Abdul. I still want to watch that one. Ron says they were saying that if Tyler was Nicholas, he wouldn't have cheated on Ava, which is ridiculous because Tyler. I was just saying, yeah, I agree with that, Ron. I will sit there and say that I definitely agree with that. I don't think it's fair to sit there and um put a bad storyline on the actor because the actor doesn't write for the show. The actor doesn't write for the show. Now, I know there's a lot of people in the chat will sit there and say, and unfortunately, I heard it from other people. I'll sit there and say that a lot of times, if you've been on the show for a while, they were right towards the character to an extent. They were right towards the character to an extent. But I don't think it's what people say. Like they're right. They're right towards the character as far as their mannerisms, the way that they speak and they address people, and their delivery, their lines, and the way that the way that they generally talk. But they don't write it in a way where it's like, oh, Tyler would have never cheated. Tyler would have never actually slept with Esme. That's not what Tyler would do. But Marcus, oh yeah, I can totally see him doing that. I don't see that, and I don't think it's fair because I don't I just don't. Aaron says if you violate me, I'm definitely not marrying you and being a stupid couple beyond even yeah, that's yeah, I don't believe that they are. See, this is why I should have got my ideas earlier. Um, I don't believe that they write for the characters in a way where it's like the actor would have did this so we're gonna write this way, or the actor would did that, so they're gonna write that way. I don't. And that leads to a lot of backlash towards the actors that is unnecessary. Though it says Tyler is great, but his Nicholas has some garbage storylines too. Yeah, exactly. And it's not exactly though. It's not like he sat there was like, "Hey, I wouldn't do that." Yeah, but we're gonna sit there and write it that way, so you're gonna do it today. You know. Tamara's. Oh, what's good, Tamara? Thank you for joining us. How are you doing tonight? And thank you for joining us as always. XX says TV show writes like that all the time now. What do you mean write like that all the time? You mean like okay, you're gonna have to explain that to me already. Um Laura B says, didn't we discuss the subject already? Oh, we did, but sometimes we gotta sit there and revisit the classics. Honestly, to tell you the truth, Laura B, I think what it comes down to is we just disagree on things. Um, I just adamantly disagree that they're gonna sit there and you know what? Because as I'm sitting there saying this, right, and I'm like, the writers, the actors don't write. Okay, next XX says I read a lot of the times the writers do write towards the actors. There are plenty of actors and podcasts that talk about how writers have written for them. Yeah, written for them, like, but not for their storyline stuff. Not for like. Okay, hold on. In case says because you aren't a writer writes to an actor's strengths the same way a coach plays a player in his best position. So, all right. Yeah, but that's yeah. Oh, well, hold on. We got Cat Lady in the chat. Cat Lady, what's good, Cat Lady? Yeah, I mean, McCarthy says they wrote it that way since Marcus looked way younger, and they wrote him way dumber. But Tyler never would have paired with Esme. Actually, in no way would have been. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Because it's like basically Smith is saying that we should blame Marcus because of that storyline. You know, we should blame Marcus. We shouldn't blame the writer. We should blame Marcus. This is where we're at now. This is where we're at now. We're at the point of now. Let's sit there and blame the actors, not the writers, for writing a particular storyline like that. No, let's blame the actors. Now, XX said Marcus got hate because he justifiably Nick slept with Esme. Okay, so yeah, again, that's exactly what I'm saying. XX, so we're blaming writers now. I mean, we're blaming actors now. This is what's hot in the streets now. Dolly says, "What would have been the big change with Tyler? I'm still a little confused. Is the idea that Nick would be Ness villainous? No, Dolly. So apparently, people are sitting there saying that because it was Marcus, you know, given his age and the way that he is, his personality, we should be blaming Marcus for a bad storyline, not the writers. It's let's blame the actor. I don't know. I ain't feeling it. I get what everyone's saying, and this is why I love what I do, because I'm gonna have to simply agree to disagree. XX says no people got grossed out by Marcus online because Marcus went on Twitter supporting what his character was doing. It was weird. Okay, well, I mean, I get that. I get that. Now, Cavalier says no, we blame the writers. Exactly. That's exactly why I had to sit there. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to agree to disagree on that because I'm not gonna sit there and start blaming actors for what the writers are doing. That's just, well, put it lightly, ass backwards. But that's just me. Um, Now, in the case I'm not blaming the actors, it's not his fault. He sucked. It's the writer's fault for not writing a better story. Okay, good. All right, I was. It's very, no, I figured that. I just want to make sure we're still on the same page. That's all. Always says, but Marcus may look useful, but the guy was middle aged too. And Mr. Bear says, blame the directors for bad acting also. Harry says, I'm not blaming Marcus. It's still the writer's fault, but the writers and producers would have been stopped in their tracks if Tyler was in the role on Esme's part. Now, Kyrie, do you say that because the actor would have sat there and been like, no, this is like, do you think that okay, do you think it would have been stopped in his track because of the actor? Um, because he would have sat there and looked at that script and like, this is not something that I would do. People start blaming the writers. I know how to separate fiction from reality. Ron says, Albert, what is your take on delusional fans? You know my take on delusional fans. Um, they're nuts and they don't need to be online or watching. They don't need to be online or watching soap operas. Now, the key said a good reviewer can rate food. It doesn't mean that understand cooking just because you don't understand the process of writing for a soap doesn't mean it's not true. Now, Nikki says saying the writers write differently from Marcus isn't the same as saying it's his fault. Saying the writers write differently from Marcus isn't the same thing as. Hmm. I'm stumped on that. God, I'm stumped on that sentence for so many different reasons. Arian says I felt like I felt like there's a different level of respect for Taylor. I think you mean Tyler, right? Ariana? Now, Carrie says a bit of both. Probably Tyler would say something, but I think if they practiced those scenes and so Tyler, they would have scrapped that before it aired. Hmm, I don't know. Now, Renee, oh, what's good, Renee Thompson? Renee says Tyler portrayed of Nicholas was trash. To remember he slept with his own brother's wife. Oh, now, all right. Here's the reason why I'm having a hard time agreeing to that sentence. Okay, this is why I have a hard time agreeing to that sentence. I'm not saying that people in the chat. Oh no, Ariana, no, trust me, I get it. I know exactly what you mean, Ariana. What I'm having an issue with, or the idea of that, is not that anyone in the chat believes that it's Marcus' fault for the, well, let's be honest, shitty writing. Um, my whole thing is that you have people that, well, let's be honest, they shouldn't be on the internet. What they wind up doing is they wind up attacking and harassing the actor for a very terrible, crappy, shitty storyline. When in reality, it's the writing. So it's very difficult for me to sit there and say, me personally, and be like, if you had different actors, the writing is going to be different. Because then it just comes back down to everyone in this chat. I feel like is smart enough to sit there and know right from wrong and be able to um, not blame the actor for shitty writing. But other people can't do that. So because of that, it's it's something. It's a reality. Well, I don't want to say it's a reality, but it's a theory that I'm just not really on board with. Makai, what's good, Makai? You know, Makai actually heard you. Well, Makai and Cat Lady, Makai, Cat Lady, y'all were in James live stream today. Y'all was in James live stream, right? Because I heard your I heard him call your names. Yeah, Makai and Cat Lady. I know y'all were in his live stream. And Monique says, I guess as an actor or an actress, you're expected to deliver even if the writing is bad. Yeah. What you're not, um, you're expected for a lot of things. What you're not expected for is to be blamed for somebody else's bad taste in writing. Then Nikki said Marcus should have never been cast as Nicholas. The only person he had chemistry was with Ava, and Ava carried those scenes. So yeah, Cat Lady, you were there, and I know, and what's good, Renee? Thank you for joining. Damon is in the chat. Damon says, hi, they didn't bring the original Ethan back, so I really doubt they'll bring Tyler back at this point. Well, it depends. Here's the thing, Damon. Ethan didn't want to come back. The original actor that played Ethan didn't want to come back. So we don't know what Tyler's state is. Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mikhail. I appreciate that. No, it was a lot of fun with GH Envy. So we definitely want to sit there and do another one at some point. Now Jay Blue says I think if it was any other actor, the storyline with Esmond would still happen. Supposed to, yeah, it's supposed to be, yeah. I agree with that. Now Dolly says I know I'm in the minor, but I kind of like Marcus, horrible narcissist take on Nick. Now last day says I we can have different opinions. I never blame the actors for their characters. Don't hate on actors. It's not their fault for their characters' actions. Exactly. 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 That's why I'm not fully subscribing to that theory. just I can't do it because I know how much I will I but I get what everyone's saying though. I understand. I get it. Makai says yes, I was in James Live. Yeah. Yeah, 11 years. James was on YouTube for 11 years. Yeah. That's a long time. Nikki said if we aren't blaming the actors here in the chat, then why is their topic us irrational people shouldn't blame for the irrational people that are in the chat? I'm gonna go back to that. Danny Bear's in the chat. Let's everyone say what's up to Danny Bear 87. What's good, Danny Bear? Let's everyone give her flowers, her well-deserved flowers. In case that if we aren't blaming the actors here in chat, then why is that the topic? Us rational people shouldn't be blamed for the irrational people that are in chat. Oh no, that's not what I was doing. I was just yeah, no, that wasn't. That's right. That's right. The one and only. Laura B says, because Ron keeps asking the question about. No, no, no. I mean, I don't know what that take was, but no. So, see, here's the thing. When I say hit the like button, this is exactly why. Gluten free, gluten free Jersey girls say, yeah, they did rewrite it. Jeannie and Anonymous was frustrated, so they then rewrote it back. Let's say what's up. Exactly. Let's say hi to Jersey girl. We got a new person in the chat. This is why I sit there and say hit the like button, because the like button, well, it clearly works. Enemy says Sheila survived falling off the balcony and a headache and a heart attack and looks like she's. Yeah, no, she didn't even limp. This chick didn't even limp. There was no limping involved. Sorry, Jeannie and Tony were upset. But yeah, Danny says heart attack and stupid phone. But yeah, no, Nikisha, I wasn't blaming anyone. I wasn't blaming. Well, I wasn't blaming anyone. I was just, But yeah, sorry. I don't even know where we are in the like section, but I swear if I was if this was an emergency, I would be so screwed right now. Just absolutely screwed. Okay, 29 likes. So yeah, we got 29 people in the like. I mean 29, well, we got 41 people in the chat, 29 likes. If you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. It really does help. Kathleen says, Albert, we're just letting out steam. Oh yeah, yeah, no, no. I just want to make sure I wanted to make sure that I was not what's good, Krista? Thank you for joining. What's good, Valerie? Thank you for joining us. Jersey Girl says I've been watching GH since 1979. Oh wow, old school. Old school. I love it. Nikki said, oh, okay, so this is Ron 443. Feel like we repeat the same conversations every week. No nothing's changed. Feel like we just talk. Yeah. Nah, I just want to make sure I was kind of covering my ass because there's a lot of times when I get kind of sauced and I may sit there and say things that I shouldn't say. Um, I want to sit there and make sure I didn't sit there. I want to make sure I didn't say anything that was too out of line. Ron says I can see why the actor Daniel, who played Cain on Young and the Restless, got fired because he didn't. Yeah, that's true. I mean, granted, we did talk about that last time, but yeah. Um, yeah, yeah. Mackay Blackmon was in there today. Was in there too, though. Yeah, 11 years. 11 years. Hmm. A long ass time. Mr. Bear said, Mr. Bear said, did GH have that James Bond spy mask in '79? Yeah, that's a good question. I wasn't born in '79. So. I mean, granted, well, Yeah, I wasn't born in that time. Daisy Flowers in the chat. Daisy Flowers say hi. I don't mind Drew. I like Drew and Carly. GH is the spy show. How are you doing tonight? Daisy Flower. Daisy Flower was another person that was in the live stream towards James. 11 years on GH. I mean, 11 years on YouTube. Monique says, I wonder what character Jimmy J. Walker is going to play on B&B. Jimmy J. Walker. Seriously? Cheyenne says, Albert's nearly 40 years old. Yep. That is very true, Cheyenne. Oh, Cheyenne. How was the live stream on Saturday? How was the live stream on Saturday, Cheyenne? Cheyenne says, why did they put Lily and Daniel together? They were together back in the day, though, right? So I think, you know. Renike said, am I the only one who could do without Holly? Blonde Ethan part of the storyline. I'm glad Tracy's back, though. Karen is in the chat. What's good, Karen? Mr. Bear says you're joking, right? What did I say? I was joking. I mean, no, Mr. Bear. What did you say? I was joking. Sharon says, missed it. Whatever. We'll do it another day. No, well, I mean, that was the thing, Shane. I was asking you how was the. Oh, Miss Key's in the chat. Miss Key said, I'm late trying to keep up with all y'all. And I hit the. Thank you, Miss Key. No, it's not this. Jesus. Yeah, Danny. I know it's been a hot minute since you've been on there, since you've been watching. Monique says, I know you remember good times. I do remember good times. And the Jeffersons. And the Facts of Life. And Different Strokes. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty much kind of telling my age at this point. Now, Shauna says, Albert Portia annoying if Victor shot Anna. Yeah, I said the exact same thing. I mean, I tried to give her a bit of a pass because I know that she is, she's a mother, she's worried and stuff like that. She's not really thinking too clear. But I'm like, bro, you walked in there and almost died. So, like, what? Danny B says, gotta start watching YNR again. I actually liked YNR better than GH today. And those are words that I never thought I would sit there and say. But maybe because GH was so blah. Now Ron says, I heard that Sheila gets a surprise visit in prison on Friday. What is that about? Maybe it's a controversial visit between her and Deacon. Though it says every time I think about Blonde Ethan, I find myself disappointed in recast him to accommodate a Christina storyline. Kenneth Clark. See, this is why you hit the. What else my damn phone at? This is why you hit the like button. Kenneth Clark. There's a new person. There's enough new person that's in the chat. How are you doing, Ken? I feel like I'm dying right now. How are you doing, Kenneth Clark? Now, Danny Bear says just finished watching GH. It was pretty blunt today. I did enjoy Laura talking change. Dolly says, I love the facts of life. I wanted Mr. Garrett to adopt me. Man, I'm not gonna lie, Dolly. There was some pretty dark episodes in that. There was some pretty dark episodes in that. Have a good night, Chelsea Brown. Thank you for joining us. Kenneth Clark says, "Hello, I'm awesome. I'm new, and I love soaps." Okay, Kenneth, what soaps are you watching? What soap operas are you watching? I want to know. Oh yeah, where are we at on the like situation? We're gonna call it a situation. I wish I was still drinking. Carrie says, "Do you watch all four soaps?" Okay. Now Kenneth says, "I am Team CBS. Team CBS. See you with the bold and the young and the restless." Very interesting. I like it. Okay, hold on. Where are we at in the like situation? Okay, so we have 33 likes. 33 likes, 45 people watching. If you are enjoying the stream, you're new, hit the like button. Clearly, that ish actually works. Um, yeah, it works. No, that's cool. I was just sitting there saying, I was like, I actually did like um mine are slightly more than GH. Naniki said, "Does anyone know about the Twitter drama that Sunny Shift was talking about yesterday?" But there was a couple of them, Nikisha. There's the one with Nicholas Chavez and somebody impersonating him because of the whole blue check mark thing. Um, so maybe that's one of them. I know that's one of them now. Adobe says, "Oh, you know the 80 sitcoms love their dark, very special episodes. One minute you're laughing, next they're telling you to stay off crack." Dolly, even Small Wonders. If you remember the show Small Wonders, even that show got a little kind of heavy. Even Small Wonders. Darby says it's mob heavy. Christina. Okay. Now more. Mr. Bear says the Facts of Life episode when the heavyset girl lost her virginity was controversial. Really? Damn. Um, Nikisha said, "Tell me more. I do not do Twitter, so I know nothing." Well, Nikisha, did you watch the video when I was talking about Laura Wright? Long story short, I'll say it for everyone because I put out the video already, so the members could sit there and watch it. But Laura Wright was pretty much like, I'm not gonna. She was sitting there thinking about stepping down from Twitter because anybody can sit there and buy a blue check mark. And what she didn't want people to sit there and be scamming fans, thinking that they're talking to the real Laura Wright when they're not. Then maybe in a couple hours, Nicholas Chavez was sitting there talking about quote unquote some unscrupulous people. And what's good, Karen? Thank you for joining. I don't know if I said hi to you. Um, okay, so sorry, I haven't seen the video yet. I watched after this live. Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, watch that one, Nikisha. But Nicholas Chavez, he's having people on Twitter thinking that, like scamming people because they got a blue check mark. So, now he's upset about it. And it's unfortunate because that's literally what the blue check mark was there for. Yeah, Nikisha. So if you think you're talking to the real, well, anyone because they got a blue check mark, yeah, you're not. It's highly unlikely. That's not to saying it's not totally because, we had some people that came, well, we had a person that came up in here. Um, superstar that came in here, so it's not unlikely, but you know. And Dolly says yes. It was supposed to be Blair losing her virginity, but the actress is very religious. Oh, wow, interesting, Dolly. Now, did you follow that? Is what Laura Wright was talking about. Yeah. Phantom Clark says to Albert, I am still present, aka Bill and Steffi fandom from Bo and the Beautiful are you? Kenneth, that was actually before my time I started watching it. So I didn't really know too much about I didn't really know about those two as far as a couple and stuff. I didn't start watching it until like 3 years ago. Shannon says Andrew Tate will be a beast on General Hospital. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Listen, Shy, I'm not gonna sit there and persecute. I'm not gonna sit there and persecute the guy because I don't know if he did all those horrible things or not. I'm just gonna sit there and wait and see if everything unfolds. But there's a lot of stuff that's stacking up against him. There's a lot of stuff that he allegedly did that is stacking up against him. So I would say for right now, it will be literally hell would freeze over before that happens. Daisy Flower said she said she wasn't sure she was going to stay on Twitter because of the blue check mark. Yeah, yeah, and here's the thing, Daisy Flower, I totally understand that. Blackmon is in the chat. What's good, Blackmon? Blackmon, you was another person that actually did watch that watched James live. Cherie says Andrew Tate is coming. I love it. Clark says you missed those days. Albert Bill lost his mind after he got what? Oh wow, Steffi's that good? Damn. Mr. Bear said, I learned fun facts about the facts of life. Now, Mr. Key said, now you got me thinking about old shows. Oh, of course I remember A-Man. How could I not? Miss Key, come on. I'm an 80s kid. Yeah, Miss A-Man. I love A-Man. And of course, there was good times and um, I'm forgetting some other stuff now. What was good, Black Man? But yeah, I get it. Now, Carrie says was pulling out all those stops to get him, so more of Steffi, but she only. I mean, don't get it twisted, Kyrie. She's not bad looking, Um, I'm not a huge fan of the extensions, but she's not bad looking. I'll say that much. Yeah, she got some curves. She got some curves. I give her that much. Deja Clark says Steffi is only CEO because of her relationship with Bill. Really? Oh, Kyrie, I can only imagine. Monique says, I used to watch Mr. Belvedere and Benson. Benson is, I think I've seen like maybe a handful of those, but Mr. Belvedere, of course. Um, and of course, there was Family Ties, and there was Alf, there was Perfect Strangers. Of course, I'm getting into like 90s territory, but I never remember Full House actually being that great. Like, it wasn't a terrible show, but it was like, eh. Kenneth Clark says I have talked to just. Oh, nice, nice. She says if Steffi wanted Bill, would Bill forget about Katie? Ooh, Cherie says if Steffi wanted Bill, would Bill forget about Katie? Absolutely, Cherie. Now, Krista says love love Benson, Mr. Belvedere, Alf, Perfect Stranger, and Family Ties. Yes, and of course, don't forget Small Wonder. Now, Chris, I feel like I'm missing something. Now, Dolly says let us not forget Bill was so sprung on Stuffy. He was pushing Wyatt and Liam to get some at different points. If he could himself, he wanted her in the family. Damn. I love how I'm pressing shit and like nothing's working. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like Benson was kind of like something that was before my time somewhat. Of course, there was a show called My Secret Identity. I don't know if anyone remembers that. True says, wow, the sitcoms, it cuts out. Guys, my B day is May 3rd, not be 38. Y'all flash. Yeah, Miss Key, I was never in the Punky Brewster. I think that might have been a show that I did kind of skip. Um Monique says, I told my coworkers I watched a show called Alice. I said one of my famous lines, kiss my. You know, Monique, there's not that many people actually remember that show Alice. There's not that many people I remember that show Alice. Now, Kenneth Clark said, guys, I have to go charge my phone. I subscribed to Albert. Thank you. Thank you, Kenneth Clark. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Blackmon says, I remember Secret Identity. Thank you. Thank you, Blackmon. Thank you. I appreciate that. Jess says, what is Alice? See, that comment right there just made me feel so old. Jess, this is why I love you, Jess, because soon as Jess was like, "What's Alice?" Okay, Jess, do you remember a show called Alice? I think what was it called? Alice Mack. This is on Nickelodeon. I don't know if anyone remembers that show called Alice Mack. Please tell me anyone that remembers that show called. Why is it? Netflix says tell Albert Bobman. Now Daisy Flowers says Steve Brent played the show. Yes, Daisy Flowers was he actually in? That's what I said. Was he in the Was he the cube? I do remember that. Out of this world. Was he the cube though? Now Daisy Flowers. Okay, so you know about Alice Mack and just I know Annie Mack. Okay, all right. So once again, I know who Annie Mac is too, but once again, Jess makes me feel old, so thank you. Then you can see, yeah, the Secret World of Alex Mac. Okay, yeah, okay, that's what it was called. That's what it was called. So, okay, so you know about Alex Mac, okay. Thank you, Jess. Now, Daisy Flaws said no, Steve played the boyfriend. Oh, okay, yeah. I do remember him being on the show. I do remember him being on the show. Now Shauna says, yes, it's a hot minute. Yes. Well, I do remember that show. Monique, wasn't China on that show? Like the wrestler China at one point was on that show. Monique, I did used to love that show. Honestly, I love that show. Of course, there was Pete and Pete. Um, and Are You Afraid of the Dark? So, Jess, does any of those names sound familiar? Um, Are You Afraid of the Dark or Pete and Pete? Please tell me you know Are You Afraid of the Dark? Siri says I can't keep up with you guys. I only have one glass, and I'm gonna have to sit there and buy another one tomorrow, so that's gonna be fun. Jess, I feel like I need another drink. You really did just said Pete and You really just said Pete and Pete. Kyrie's, oh my God. Thank you, Kyrie's. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Albert, for your amazing daily work. Thank you, Kyrie's, for just being amazing. And I'm blessed to have you. If I have not told you that enough, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much, Kyrie's. You are amazing. Just as I know all your friends. Okay, all right. I'm like, damn, Jess is nothing making me feel like a damn dinosaur at this point. Jesus Christ. Danny Bear says, I love Are You Afraid of the Dark? I remember Pete and Pete, but didn't really watch it. Yeah, it was kind of an odd show. Have a good night, Cherie. Thank you for joining us. Dolly says, good night, Rock says, thank you. Thank you, Dolly. Well, yeah, we're in the same like point. So Tamara says, yes, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And Pete and Pete, yes, okay, good. Cherie says, I'll sit with you. I'll sit with you. Blackman said, we are, thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much. I don't know what the hell I was doing to grab my chest, but thank you. Thank you, Blackmon. I really do appreciate that. And Monique says, salute your shorts was another. Yeah, I do remember that show. Thank you, Blackmon. I do remember that show. It's like Doug. I'm pretty sure, I swear to God, somebody has to know that show, Doug. Last day says, Albert, thank you for your support. Last day, no, you're doing all the work. And you're making it look, and you're doing it efforts. You're doing it without effort. Because I was not gonna sit there and mess up that on that line. Um, last day, I'm always gonna be in your corner, so always gonna be in your corner. Shannon says, "I love one day at a time." Hmm. I don't remember that show. I do remember Doug though, and I bring up Doug because there's Nickelodeon Doug, and then there's ABC Doug, and ABC Doug is when it just went downhill. Well, Lorby, wait, when did Lorby actually leave? Was good to have Lynn. When did Lorby leave? Oh, okay. Oh no, Lorby's not leaving. Well, Lorby's not leaving. It's Dolly that left. Oh no, never mind. Have a good night, Lorby. Danny Danny 80 Bear says ABC Duck suck. Yeah, it did. It was bad. What's really funny, Danny Bear, is that when you look at it, Doug was a great show when you were a kid. You grow up and you watch that show, it's eh, it's not really that great. It's not terrible, but Sherry said Doug and Skater, yes. Sheree, you are awesome. Have a good night, Shauna. Thank you for joining. Monique says, I remember Doug's pet. Oh, yeah, of course, Patty Mayonnaise. uh, Penny Mayonnaise. Now, Jess said, I never liked Doug. Okay, well, here's the thing, Jess. It's the fact that you know what Doug is. It just proves I'm not that much of a dinosaur. But thank you for at least remembering Doug. Kind of looked like it said drugs for a minute, but okay. She says, I've been watching my niece and nephews. Hey Arnold. Oh, yeah. No, Hey Arnold and Rugrats. Yes. Jonathan is in the chat. What's good, Jonathan? Gemini is in the chat. Almost made it. Last day says Disney's Nickelodeon soap opera Power Rangers WW was my childhood 20. Yes. So yes, Jess, I'm glad you didn't do that. Gemini says I made it almost. Well, here, yeah. Oh no, I mean you made it. To be honest, I was actually supposed to stop like 30 minutes ago. uh, I love when I sit there and I put a post up, and then 30 minutes I just totally ignored that shit. Like, CW says I like Rugrats better than the yeah, well, yeah, CW. I think most people. I'm not gonna lie, CW. When they had them like grow up, it was like, what are y'all doing? CW, have you seen a new? Have you seen a new Rugrats? Because it looks pretty bad. But have a good night. Last day. Thank you for joining. Miss Key says Victor Casson and the 20 is the 2023 Pinky and Brain. I still remember that cartoon. Gemini says I'm so sorry to read about Victor's. Yeah, it's but you know what? He's gonna. He quoted earlier. He's gonna be fine. Johnson says talking about Doug. I love that show. Yeah. Well, you know it's funny, Jonathan. There's Doug and then there's ABC Doug. So yeah, there's Doug and then there's ABC Doug. Shannon says those on Kristen, the man who played. I don't really know. I don't really know about him, unfortunately. I can't actually even say that. I can't even actually give my opinion on him. And Blackman says I used to love Boomerang cartoons until they messed it up. How did he mess it up? I'm very curious about that. Sherry says my niece asked me what is wrong with Angelica and her doll Cindy's hair. Oh, Angelica. You know a movie I never watched as a kid and I want to watch it? The Rugrats movie. Devlin says my opinion Drew is not needed. I hate that the writers watered down Ryan from All My Children. To me, he's a good actor. Yeah, I have no problem with him. Now Monique says Jimmy Neutron, Odd Parents, Hey Arnold, Ren and Stimpy, and Monique. Let's just sit there and talk about let's talk about Ren and Stimpy. Jesus Christ. Can anyone tell me how Ren and Stimpy was on Nickelodeon? I know they were trying to be the bad boy version of Disney, but CW says Nickelodeon in the 90s were awesome. Yeah. Now Jimino says I read about Victor's departing from GH. Yeah. Well, I mean he's not on contract anymore, so it just means that it's kind of up in the air. Gemini's Jonathan says I didn't watch much of the Disney version, but it was completely competing with Fox Kids at the time. I just remember it just wasn't good. Okay, yeah, Jim. I always wanted to watch that. And then Gemini said, "Here, I don't know, was my jam. I love that movie." Now, Black Man said they showed the older cartoons. And they were crazy cartoons, like people spit it and sneeze. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Rugrats. I mean, Ren and Stimpy, Sherry says, "Oh, I didn't know the new Rugrats stuff, but my friend says Susie is a single mom, which Chucky's dad was always a single dad for the most part whatsoever." Hmm. Danny Bear says, "I got in trouble watching this. I was watching the episode and Ren was trying to find his fart. My mom made that show was gross. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for gross humor, but as a kid, okay, to be fair, as a kid, there was a ton of stuff I shouldn't watch. But I don't understand how that show actually made it on the air. Gemini says, "Oh yeah, no, Tailspin was my show. Gemini, Tailspin was my show. Tailspin." Ron says, "I go, why would a fan tell the actress playing Nina I was flat? Because they're delusional and they don't need to be on the internet and they need therapy and Jesus. Yeah, therapy and Jesus. That's what that person needs." She says, "Is new business inspired good?" Um, Really good question. But it was MTV, so MTV was just it was MTV. Um, Jonathan says Days of Our Lives was the winner take. Yeah, it was. It was. You're 100% right, Jonathan. I cannot agree more. Gemini says when we got Disney Network, I binge. Oh God, Gemini. I don't want to sound gross and say it was a G spot, but yes, Gargoyles was my show. Um, Danny Bit says I love New Beast and Butthead, just as stupid as the original. Yeah, Black Mon, they definitely need Jesus and therapy. You need both. Krista says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and yes, Rugrats. Yes. Yeah, I agree with that, Krista. Now, I'm going to sit there and ask the question because I don't feel like typing it at this point. And this is an MTV show. It was called MTV Oddities. Yeah, it was called MTV Oddities. I don't know if anyone remembers that. They had one show called Max. And then they had another show. And this show was. I don't know how they actually put the show on the air. All I know is that one guy had like a chainsaw in his head. And there was a couple other oddities. See, Black Mon, this is why I rock with you. But yeah, no, Shree, I love Gargoyles. I don't remember what that show was called though. I really want to remember what that damn show was called. Gemini says, I was a tomboy as a kid. I love watching the cartoons. He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transforming Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters. Gemini would have been such great friends. Jesus Christ, would have been great friends. Shuri says, oh, okay, this might be too deep. Bone Justice. I don't remember Bone Justice. Johnson said, oh yeah, I remember AR Flux. It's funny, Jonathan. I'm pretty sure I actually have the box set somewhere in my closet. I have the box set somewhere in my closet. Miss Key said Max Headroom. Yeah, no, Miss Key. No, yeah, Max was one show which went completely over my head. I never got that. Um, have a good night, Krista. But yeah, Blackmon remembers it, but now Blackmon says that I have the Herman's and Shuri DVD collection. I want to try to remember the name of the other show though. 'Cause that show was weird. I mean, granted, I do remember Aeon Flux, but that show was weird. Like, even for MTV, like they were kind of crossing some lines. Um, so thank you, Black Monk, because I'm gonna. Yeah, no, Gemini. Yeah, Tailspins was my show. I love Tailspins. Tails. Oh no, Ducktales. Jesus Christ. Okay. You know, Gemini. I used to watch a lot of the movies though too. Like not just the cartoons. They used to actually come out with actual movies. I still don't know the name of that damn show now. Dave says I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender and Power Rangers, two of my favorite shows as a kid. Dave, you're awesome, and I want you to know that. Johnson says in the award-winning show Samurai. You know, I was very late on that show. My friend used to love that show. I was very late on that show, though. And yeah, CW, Thundercats, 1985, yes. And you know, CW, I'm so glad that you actually remember the that version because you know they did come out with another version that was very questionable. I'll just sit there and say, all right. Now Johnson says, "What show are you trying to remember?" Okay, so Jonathan, back in the day, there used to be two shows on MTV. One was called Max. There was another show that used to have, I think it was like MTV Oddities, and one guy had like this big head. And he used to like attack people with him. Like he used to attack people with his head, and somebody had a chainsaw through their head, and it was an MTV show. Now Cherie says, "Was it Jimmy the Head?" I'm gonna look that up right now. Swear to God, if I was ever in a crisis, I would be so screwed right now. Blackmon says, "Go ahead and say." I'm trying to find. Oh, you know, Jess, this was another show that was, you know, before your time. You know that makes me look like an old fart. Sherry says, "Wow, we could go all night, and it's only Monday." This is it. Yes, this was literally it. Jesus Christ, this show was twisted. Um, wow. Yes, Johnson. Yeah, it was called. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was called. Oh, you're right. You're right, Johnson. Yes, it was called The Head. Now, Jess said, "Who remembers Invader Zim?" You know, my friend actually watched that show a lot. I never got into that show. My friend watched that show a lot though. Now, Gemini says the 80s and 90s animated show were so much better than now. They were less politically correct, I would sit there and say. Wow. Memory lane like there's no tomorrow. And Monique says Widget the World Watcher was another show I watched. And of course, I watched Darkwing Duck. You know, Monique, when you said Darkwing Duck, this is why I'm glad you're a subscriber. I mean, granted, I know that show was a parody, but I used to love that show so much. Okay, well, listen, as much fun as I'm having, tomorrow is Hell Day. And, you know, seeing how it's only supposed to be on here for like an hour, and we're into an hour and 40 minutes. Um, God, I'm gonna actually have to get some more alcohol tomorrow. So that's kind of annoying. Sheree says I used to love the comics. And Johnson says Ed, Ed, and Eddie. That was a weird show. I never watched it, but I do remember it being a weird show though. Cow and chicken. I will sit there and leave that off with tonight. Cow and CW, I'm gonna ask you a question. Did you say cow? Okay, did you actually say um did you say cow and chicken after or did no CW, I want to ask you a question. Did you say cow and chicken before I said it? I'm very curious about that. Have a good night, Monique. Have a good night, everyone. I want to thank everyone for joining. I'm still waiting for CW to answer that question. Um, have a good night, Gemini. Thank you for joining. Yes, I definitely look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Just yeah, I never really got into that show. Nothing was wrong with it. I just never got into it. Have a good night, Daisy Flower. Johnson says, I am Weasel. Have a good night, Val. Oh, wow. That's crazy. CW, that is crazy. That's good. We want to talk about that more tomorrow, CW. Have a good night, Ariana. Thank you for joining. Yes, yes, yes. Have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Janet. Thank you for joining as always. It's always a blessing to see you in the chat. Have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, Jess. Yes, Jonathan, yes. Hit the like button. It really does actually help. Bring in some new people in tonight. And that is because the like button was hit. So thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for reminding everyone. Have a good night, Jess. Have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Cherie. Have a good night, Blackmon. Thank you for joining as always. It is always a pleasure to see you. Have a good night. Have a good night, Danny Bear 87. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for joining us. Blackmon, have a great night. CW, Nikisha, thank you for joining. Samuel, Dolly, Darby, J Blue, Krista, Danny Bear 87 again. Thank you for joining. I'm missing some people in the chat. Everybody says I love some of those cartoons so much that I bought the whole series at Walmart. Nice. Have a good night, Dave. Thank you for joining as always. This was amazing, and I look forward to seeing each and every single one of y'all tomorrow. Hopefully, I actually have some more alcohol. Laters.